Hello everybody and welcome out to episode 123 of the Save Slot 3 Gamescast. I am your host, Uwif Gizmo, joined this week by Massive Das.
Hello everyone.
And Mr. Xbox Arcade, CW Lanky.
Dave, it's the summer of arcade, brother.
It's the summer of Craig.
Down. It's
It's Craig getting us a copyright strike straight away. So, we're back, another week. We're going to be ranking games consoles by looks later, which is definitely not stolen from anyone else. But before we do that, let's get to the Chris Pengi news desk. Time for some news.
I have 3 items of news this week.
That's not a baker's dozen, is it, Chris? That's just 3.
It's
It's a Krispy Kreme donut. Other donuts are available.
Other donuts are available. So number 1, we'll start off with the bad news. Bungie has cut 17% of the team, that's around 220 people, with a further 12%, that's 155 people, being integrated into SIE, including a new PlayStation studio, who will be working on an action-adventure game set in a brand new sci-fi fantasy universe. Also, there's been reports Herman Holst is now taking the reins of Bungie after allegedly the boss of Bungie went and spent $2.3 billion on classic cars at the same time of all these layoffs. So it's not going well at Bungie. Dave.
Got that Sony live service push, Craigo. It's looking good so far. Yeah, but it's sad. People have lost their jobs, but yeah. Who didn't see this coming?
Yeah, so it's an odd one because apparently in June, Destiny 2 had its best. It was the best revenue game or something in the month of June. It's we're making all the money, but we're still getting rid of all the people.
Yeah, I think it was a temporary bit of money. I think that's the problem. It didn't make enough.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Craigie?
I will say the whole people getting really caught up about this dude buying some cars. If that's his money, he's allowed to buy some fucking cars, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm really sorry to be like that, but that's if that's his money and he's earned that money with his job on his agreed salary, and he wants to buy some cars. I'm really sorry. That's just life.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's most probably the timing, isn't it? I guess
He's spending his money, Pengles. I'm sorry, it's his money. He's spending it. People need to get over that a little bit. I was just very sad people lose their jobs. I think the interesting thing is more I didn't realize there's over 1,300 people working at Bungie, which just seems like a hell of a lot, right? And I guess that just kind of shows how much resource, time, money you've got to pump into these fucking live service games if you want to keep them going, if you want to keep that content flowing, because Christ, that is a lot of people. And even the way they've downsized, it sounds like they're still going to be about 800, which is, that's a large studio, right?
And they did have obviously the team was massive, like you said, 1,300 something. They had 4 projects on the go.
Yeah, so that's almost the more. I was going to say, the sad thing is, I feel like this is just going to keep getting worse because, I mean, the integration with the Sony, I think that was going to come no matter what, right? But it sounds like they've now essentially canned Destiny 3.
You were going to be apparently it wasn't Destiny 3, it was something.
Yeah, but it's going to be. Logically, you'd think they should be working on Destiny 3 right now, right?
Yeah.
As they've just done 10 years of 2, and it's just this big end, and everyone was happy with the end and that. You'd think the people would be looking forward to 3, but it doesn't sound like that's what's coming. It sounds like they're moving away from the big updates as well, and just going more towards having a couple of smaller updates a year, which I know the Destiny freaks are weird and they'll play anything that has Destiny on it. But I don't know. I feel like it's hard to get excited about that if you're a Destiny person. And it sounds as well like they're moving to being very all in on Marathon now. Marathon has to hit, it has to be big. Otherwise, they're gonna be in big trouble. Which I don't know. Does anyone screaming out for another extraction shooter right now? I don't know that I see it. I really don't. I know it's it's Bungie, and they've got a lot of name recognition. And they're doing they've made the decision that I guess the Concord guys probably wish they'd made, of putting it on all the platforms, which is good and will help it. But oh god, I dread to think how much money they would need to be making off of Marathon going forward if they're going all in with 800 people on that. That is scary times at Bungie, I feel.
Anything else, Davey?
No, you've said everything you need to say.
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, it's now you got a team doing Destiny 2 content, you got the Marathon team, and now you got the team that were doing this action adventure game, who are now part of PlayStation Studios, not Bungie, and pay back the fourth thing, which sounds like from what I'm saying was like a Destiny spin-off or something. That's been canned, totally, of thing. So, yes, weird. But anyway, number 2, Xbox has now announced a new release roadmap. And the main thing from this is Avowed is going to be next year on the 18th of February 2025. The rest of this year, though, you've got World of Warcraft, Age of Mythology Retold, Aria History Untold, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, COD Black Ops 6, Flight Sim 2024, Indiana Jones, Starfield Shattered Space, and Towerborn for 2024. Craigie, your thoughts on the Xbox roadmap?
I mean, my first thoughts were, again, Xbox, you fucking done it again, you pillocks. I'll be honest. As Xbox has got to Xbox, right, boys? But I mean, in fairness, if we're being, actually sensible about this, we were all moaning that there's going to be too many games coming out at the end of this year, and they're all going to be big RPGs, and then you look at their release calendar and you start thinking about like Shattered Space and Vessel of Hatred again. You do kind of look at it and go, okay, and maybe if you include Stalker's going to be in November as well now, which is where supposedly the Avowed was going to be, and you kind of go, okay, actually, it probably is for the best that it comes in November, right? So I can kind of forgive them for this, I'll be honest.
They will be having shows during Gamescom. They got one every day. I think it's 3:00 our time and stuff, where they're talking about Avowed, Indiana Jones, and stuff like that. So at the moment, they got 2 games in September, a game in the expansion in October, one in November, and still have to date Indie, Starfield, and Towerborn. So if like Indie's November, you got 2 games November, and Starfield and Towerborn December, you got 2 games a month starting from September. So that's without Avowed and any Game Pass deals like your Stalkers. So there is content there. But anyway, you Davey, what do you think of the Xbox news?
I think it's fine. Like I said, it seems to be it's been delayed because to make room, as opposed to the game's in trouble or anything. So I think that's positive. But yeah, I'm kind of reiterate what Craig said. It's just there's a lot of stuff coming out. So it's like you throw in that now on Game Pass, which is where primarily you play Xbox stuff. You've also got Call of Duty as well, which is coming out in October. Then you've got Stalker in November. It's also one of those where I think Indiana Jones still could be delayed, but they're obviously trying to push it for December for all that money. Probably a Blu-ray release of the film, right? So if it isn't already out, which it probably is, to be fair. But it's one of those things where it's like, yep, it's fine. It's coming to a service, so as long as it comes and it's good, I'd rather wait, and it doesn't need to all be squashed together. Like, so you have to play it within a week or whatever. Like, it's fine. Doesn't bother me at all, really. But yeah, I'm hoping that game's really fun. So it's good. Obviously, Craig now gets a fantasy critic pick back, so that's really exciting for him.
Have you made
It should already have happened, actually. I hadn't even thought about that, because it happens on Saturday night, doesn't it?
Yeah, so that you should be available. And obviously, we're full, so you can do whatever you want.
I think I pre-bid, so in theory, it should already have swapped them over, and it has, yeah.
So what have you got now, Mario
I
Luigi?
dropped Avowed and picked up Mario Luigi, yeah.
Yeah, I dropped Avowed in the G number 1. I haven't picked anything up yet on that, because obviously Mario Luigi's gone, for instance, so on that. I'm thinking MEO, maybe.
No?
No, I'm thinking Amio because visual novel, Nintendo.
I was tempted by Neva, but
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't got a date yet, and it worries me picking up a game this late in the year at the moment if it doesn't have a date.
Yes. Yeah, so like I said, there will be stuff at Gamescom. Xbox have got free shows. There's obviously opening night live and all that stuff. So maybe we'll get dates for the rest there. And they got like 50 games in their booth as well. So Indie and Starfield aren't playable though at the booths, but Towerborn, for instance, is. So that should be get dated. And then number 3 on the news, which we go over the Craigie. We had a THQ showcase, which seems to be the build-up for Gamescom, really. And what was there, Craig?
So there was a little pre-show, which we won't worry about because I don't think there's anything particularly interesting there. But the main show started, and we had the Eternal Life of Goldman, which was a 2D action adventure smoz, it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from the developers of This Is the Police, apparently.
Okay.
Don't know if either of you played.
I have played This Is the Police. That's a very different type of game.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
This is a bit of a surprise, I thought, boys. I thought this looked really good. Quite a cool art style. There's some interesting ideas in there. Do anything for you, Davey?
Yeah, so I really liked that it looks like a weird hybrid of like Hollow Knight and classic Capcom game DuckTales.
DuckTales, woohoo!
You got like the pogo stuff. I think the art style was really, really good. I thought the music was really, really good. Yeah, like genuinely quite interesting. I don't play many of these games. I know that you, Craig, quite like this style of game anyway. But like, I was like very impressed by everything they showed. And the This Is Police team is it's a pretty good team. So they've made This Is the Police 1 and 2, and the spin-off game Rebel Cops, which are like visual. So the first game is like a visual novel police simulator thing. Really hard to explain, but it's really good. And then the second game and Rebel Cops are that crossed with like XCOM. And they're really, really good games, really good art styles and stuff. And I do really recommend them. I think they will have physical releases as well on all the consoles, which is how I played the first one. So it's a good developer with a good pedigree. So I'm quietly quite impressed by that. I think that might be one of those games that people weren't expecting, and when it comes out could score really highly, and people be like, oh yeah, this is my favorite random indie game of the year. But yeah, no, a good start to the show.
Yeah, what about you, Pengi?
Yeah, and it's like Dave said, the art style is pretty nice on that. I've seen a few people already trying to weirdly compare it to Cuphead, so I don't know, if it would be hard and stuff, because obviously that game is notoriously hard.
Yeah, I'm just rewatching the trailer now. I can kind of see that actually, the little Cuphead vibes. Like I say, the animation watching it is so slick, very, very good. But yeah, that opened the show, which is quite a nice opening. We then went on to Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, which I think was first announced at one of the Nintendo shows, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I've obviously never played this. This is a remaster or a remake, right? I thought this looked really good, actually. I thought this looked really fun. It's like quite a simple, like 2D, 3D platformer. There's some cool mechanics thrown in. Did either of you play it originally?
No.
No, David, did you play it?
I did. I've played
there
both
you
games.
go.
Yeah, so it's Epic Mickey is it Warren Spector, Pengi?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what was he famous for? What is Monkey Island, right? Is that what he did? Is he one of those?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, it was quite a big budget game at the time for the Wii. It was a Wii exclusive, if I recall, and the sequel was on everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, this showing a lot better than the Switch showing, because they're not showing the Switch version. They're showing one of the modern console versions. So of course it looks better. It runs well, which was a notorious problem with the second game that was ported on everything and ran like ass. But yeah, really good. The first one is a really, really good game. The sort of create and destroy brush mechanic is really interesting. The setting's really interesting because it's kind of like forgotten Disney worlds. So you go to like a world of like all of these like 1930s characters and like other characters through history that have just been like discarded, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
the main one's also the rabbit, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, it does well. And I think it looks really cool. I think this is a classic THQ £40 or £50 release as well, depending on the platform. So yeah, it's coming September 24th, I think, and I think it looks really good.
Yeah, definitely. Are you tempted, Pengi, if you didn't play it originally, to go back now?
It does look good, and obviously it's really designed for the Wii, and obviously the Wiimote with the paintbrush. I believe on PlayStation and Switch you can actually use the motion controls and the controllers to do all the brush mechanics and stuff, and you can pick it up for 40 quid, Dave, on Amazon. I think, yeah, just like interesting. It's one of those games. If there's nothing else really around it, but I feel there's got to be something late September that I want to play over this without looking.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe like a January sell game or something. I can see it being picked up then.
Yeah, after that we got, I believe this was our first announcement for Wreckfest 2. We didn't really see much of it. It's more of just like a CGI announcement trailer. It's good to see. I think the first Wreckfest obviously did very well. I think it pretty much came to everything in the end, even the Switch, right? And it was on Game Pass for a bit, so they obviously got that Game Pass money, and I'm sure it was probably on Plus or still is on Plus.
I'm pretty sure.
So they've done the sensible thing, right?
I think it was even in Stadia's subscription.
There you go.
It was in Stadia Pro.
Yeah, so it's obviously got that money as well.
Yeah, it's obviously done well enough that it's managed to get a sequel, which is really good. Because it's actually a really fun, just kind of very simple racing game with obviously the really cool, just kind of demolition mechanics added into it. So yeah, I think I played the first one when it came to Game Pass, but again, I imagine this will be a cheaper release, and it will probably hit around that level that you'd expect it to be, kind of quality-wise at that price. So I'd be tempted when it comes out. Dave, would you be tempted at all? Did you play the first one?
Yeah, I've played the first one on almost every platform as well, weirdly. Like you said, I think it came to all of the subs, so I think I just played it on whatever sub it was on. I think I definitely played it on PS5 and Xbox, and I probably played it on Stadia as well. But yeah, absolutely. The flat out games were great, and they got better. So I'm kind of hoping that they take everything they've learned from Wreckfest 1, and they've just made it even more insane, more budget, all that kind of stuff. So I think they also had another game that they were making called Wreck Station or something that they did, or they were doing, which was like a bit more of a party one. So I'm hoping it's just got lots of content. But yeah, it was a good trailer. Set up everything we needed to know that it was coming. Obviously didn't show too much, but yeah, really excited to play Wreckfest, Craigo.
Nice. Pengi, did you play the first one at all?
I played a bit of the first one on I'm pretty sure on Stadia, but yeah, not really my thing.
No, that's fair enough. After that, we got a bit of a Diablo clone, boys, and we got Titan Quest 2. So I believe this was the first time this was announced, right? I don't think we've seen this before. To me, just looked very much like Diablo. Looked quite good quality, though. Obviously, I've not played the first Titan Quest, but looked quite good quality-wise. The classes look quite cool. And quite a nice art style as well. So it may be one that I'd probably maybe try if it came to a service eventually or something like that. Did either of you play the first one at all?
No.
No, David, did you try the first one?
I did.
What are your thoughts? I did have a sneaky look and see how it reviewed. It didn't look like it reviewed particularly well, but
it's one of those weird games that looks incredibly generic, has an awful name, and really awful box art because it's just like pure, like schmoz. I think it started off life as a mobile game, and then it got ported, like remastered in like 2018. I think it was from like I think it was early thousands. It was on like phones or PC or something, and then they remastered it. So it's a bit of a random game. So it's designed by the co-creator of Age of Empires, and it's written by the guy that wrote Braveheart.
Nice.
And it had a big push, but it's one of those games that it's got better and better and better as you kind of like, as they've done DLC drops. So it had quite a lot of DLC on like Switch and Xbox One and stuff, but it's supposed to be pretty fun. Like I think its crime was that it was quite generic because it was just like the Roman setting and stuff. But they seem to have really upped the quality on this. This trailer looked much more like Diablo 4 than the last one. The last one looked a lot more like the original Diablo. It's always cheap. I always see it on disc on Xbox for like £2. But yeah, I think it was a good showing. I think there's room in the market for more Diablo-esque games. I know Path of Exile is the big PC one that everyone likes. But yeah, I think a game like this can do well in today's market. I think it looked pretty fun. It's one I would check out if it was on a service or I saw it cheap. Obviously, we don't buy full price games anymore, do we, Craig? But it's like that was a £20-30 game in a sale. I think I'd give it a go. Say the first one's always on sale for like I said, a couple of pounds. So, but yeah. How about you, Craig? Does it look interesting to you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just rewatching the trailer now. I think like you said, it does look very Diablo-y, right? And one of those for the right price. Eventually, it could be interesting.
Which is THQ in a bubble, isn't it? Really, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a statement.
Yeah, I'm guessing not one for you, Pengi.
No, not one for me. No. If I want to play Diablo, I'll play Diablo.
Yeah, there you go. After that, we had a remake. We had a remake for Gothic, which I think we've seen this before.
Yeah.
At other shows. I have no idea what Gothic is, but it looks like quite a cool idea. Looks a little bit like an RPG with a bit of like kind of like some more like real time, like immersive sim sort of stuff going on there as well. Look kind of cool. Did either of you play Gothic originally? I've never heard anyone talk about Gothic. I'll be honest with you.
It's more of a PC game.
It looks like a PC ass game, doesn't it? Definitely.
They did remaster of the original Gothics and that not that long ago for like Switch and stuff. But yeah, I've never played them.
No, it almost looked to me like more of something that if you were into the originals, you might be into this. But I don't know if it will kind of get a lot of new players in personally. Davey, did you entice you to want to be Gothic?
So it's a weird thing. I did play Gothic 1 back in the day. It was a very, very early PC game. You are right. I think like 2001, something like 2002. So it's kind of the remake, from what I can tell, is like a mix of Skyrim and kind of like Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's either going to be really good or it's going to be completely forgettable. I think it looks interesting. I think for me personally, there's a lot of games like this that I still haven't played. I think I'd rather go back and play something like Skyrim than jump into this. But I think it's interesting that it's getting such a big push and clearly has had quite a decent budget. But yeah, I think it's again like I don't want to be what we've said for all of these games, but like on a service or at a right price, I definitely would give it a go. It looks interesting, like the mix of the kind of like I said, like that combat-y Skyrim stuff with the kind of Kingdom Come Deliverance like real time story stuff looks interesting. But yeah, it's not something I'm going to run out and pre-order, but I think it looks promising. What about you, Craig?
Yeah, I think it's a cool little setting they've got. Right, the idea seemed interesting. If you've been these prisoners and in this like stuck in this magical bubble, and you've got three essential factions, I guess, who kind of all see things differently. Yeah, it could be cool. But I feel like it's probably more for one of people who kind of have a following of the originals personally. After that, we had Way of the Hunter, which I swear is at every show ever, and there's probably absolutely nothing to us, right, boys?
Yeah, not moved to America yet, so I haven't got a Cabela like wanting me just yet.
No, there's a few teasers after that. We got a teaser of what Tarsia Studios is working on, which is the studios behind the Little Nightmares games. I believe it said in the trailer that we'll find out more at Gamescom opening night live with Jeff Keighley, boys. That'd be something. And then we had
2 hours of Jeff Keighley. Woo!
Yeah, and then we had another little teaser for Darksiders. Which looks like that franchise is coming back.
Hell, yes.
I know people who play those games do tend to like them, right?
They are good.
Yeah. And that was it. That was a show. I thought it was quite just a fun little show, boys. I feel like THQ always do a good job of like at their shows, if even like games that you're not really interested in, they do a really good job of like presenting them well. Like the Gothic trailer, I thought just presented everything I needed to know. It showed me, it told me what was happening, it set out the world, and I was like, okay, like even if I never play this is cool. Like it was entertaining to watch. I feel like THQ always do a good job of that, their shows. So yeah, it's a fun little show, I thought, boys. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I really liked it. You did forget to mention the most important part of the show was the crazily high budget and high quality THQ logo transitions they did after almost every game. It was like ridiculous. I was like, oh, what is this game? Like the graphics are insane. It was just them like, oh, it's their logo again, just in like some crazy, like some intern has got incredibly bored and was like, oh yeah, I've made this sick logo that like lightning appears and then the fucking THQ logo. Like it was ridiculous.
No, I thought they were going to go full Devolver at one point because during the pre-show they had some like AI thing. And I was like, oh god, are they going to do some like comedy schmuck like Devolver always do? But I think they just stuck that to the pre-show.
Yeah, the Handy Games pre-show from another one of the Embracer groups. But yeah, I thought the show was really good. I think THQ Nordic is kind of the lead AA publisher, really, at the moment. Like, I think, with, like we've talked about, Craig, a lot, our love of games like Destroy All Humans for you, Darksiders for me, and like Alone in the Dark for Chris. Like, they do these type of mid-level games that are never going to be 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s, but they're very rarely 5s. So you play them and you're like, you downloaded, I don't know, Biomutant or something. You play it and be like, this was weird and fun, and I enjoyed it. But you're not going to run out and be like, day one I'm buying Biomutant 2. I think their only exception is probably Wreckfest. I think Wreckfest is the best game they've published, to be honest. But yeah, and obviously they do the SpongeBob games, which always do really well. So yeah, I think they do. I think it was a pretty good show. I was pretty excited for most things.
That was the most surprising thing because it had leaked before, and retailers like Amazon and stuff had it on the SpongeBob game. There was no SpongeBob game there, so I don't know what. I'm guessing it's going to be open at night live. Yeah,
that'll be because they showed they started their section with Squidward, so I would imagine that it's like they're going to have that at Gamescom because obviously. THQ Nordic you'll be guessed from the name. Although weirdly, their office isn't in a Nordic country; it's in Austria. But they're a European developer, so Gamescom is obviously where they will do a lot of announcements. But yeah, I think on the whole, it was a good show. Pengi, what about you?
Yeah, like you said, it's a good little show. I'm excited by the game by Tizer or whatever they're called because I like both Little Nightmares games. So to find out more on that, it'd be. Interesting. It does kind of make you like more excited for. Oh, I've got to check out opening live to see what this is. And like you said, that SpongeBob or something must really be out there at that thing because it have more people's eyes on it. I guess opening it live and then the weird THQ show to show off SpongeBob, which I guess is their biggest thing.
Absolutely. So was there any more news, Pengi?
No, that was the news. We've kept it very short, very precise.
20 minutes. So, do we want to do our bought and played next, or do we want to do the topic of the show next, boys? I'm taking a quick 5 out. We're going to do tots. Okay, so some tots. So, let me get the shenanigans up. So, we've copied Kind of Funny, and we are going to rank video game home consoles purely on looks. So, not on how they play, not on any games on there, on looks. I guess you can include the look of the controller because you have to look at the controller, but not how it feels, just how it looks. So I'm going to rule this with an iron fist. Anything I say goes, Pengi, and we'll do our usual. There's 3 of us, so there shouldn't be any on the fence votes. So have you got the list up in front of you as well, boys? So you can see.
Yes. I do.
Okay, so we're going to start with this Atari Pong machine. Craigo. Initial thoughts on this 1970s beast?
It's not attractive, is it?
It's not.
It's not attractive to look at at all. I think that's an easy D, personally, boys.
I have added F. I forgot to add. I have added an F. So there is the S, A, B, C, D, and F. So you're thinking D, Craigo?
Yeah, I don't think it's an F.
No, I think there's worse to come. I think there's worse to come.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking D.
I agree with D. Pengi?
I'm thinking D. For the time, it mostly did look fine, but yeah, we're not in 1974 or whatever anymore.
Nice. So we're going to really blast through these early ones because we'd have very little experience with them. So, the Coleco Telstar Colortron. Pengi?
It's very brown.
Very brown. But not wooden, just brown.
Yeah.
You know, this looks like something you would see on a dashboard of an old car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
An old Jag with but well, not even a Jag, mostly a Rover.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like the most budget ass. This might be an F, boys.
Yeah, I'm thinking F.
I'm agreeing with F. It does look like it. Yeah, it looks like a porn star's radio. I think is the best way to describe the Coleco Telstar Collotron.
Yes.
So in a similar vein, the Magnavox Odyssey. I'm starting this off with a heavy F. Arguments either way, boys.
I think it looks better than the Coleco thing. I would go bottom of D or top of F.
Craigo.
Right, I'm just looking for a bigger. Oh, now that I've seen a bigger picture of it, I was about to jump to its defense, actually, Dave. But now I see it in all its glory. I don't know that I can. What were you saying, F?
Oh, definitely F. I think bottom of F. I think the porn star dashboard is way better looking than the whatever the fuck they were trying to do with this.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, fuck this thing.
Okay. Right, let's go on to a console we do actually roughly know. The Atari 2600. Pengi. Opening offer.
I'm going for a B, please, for the 2600.
I think that's incredibly generous. Craigo?
That wood grain on it. Oh.
I don't know actually, Dave. I'm looking at this thing now. This does always look like a dashboard again, but it looks like if whatever the other one was, the Coleco was a Rover. This looks more. It's a little bit more upmarket than that. I know. I think B. I think B as well.
I was going to go C, but two Bs are better than a C. And to be fair, I would bump it to B for the controller, which is classic. So B. The 5200. Pengi.
D.
I think lower D. I think better than the Pong system, but still D.
Yeah, I would go top. I don't have an F, but I would put it on top of D.
Craigo.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
No.
It's not great. Yeah, top of D. Yeah, like you say, it is better than the Pong thing, definitely.
Yeah, so we've got the ColecoVision. I know Pengi loves a ColecoVision, so Pengi.
Let me look at a bigger picture of it. I think that's got to be a D as well, isn't it?
For me, it's middle D. Still better than Pong, but not as attractive as the Atari 5200. Craigo.
It's pretty hideous, isn't it? I mean, there's something about those old-fashioned wires, the curly wires, which really just does something to me, boys. I don't know. I don't know. It just looks. I mean, the fact that the controllers slot into the top is kind of cool, though, right?
Yeah, very of the time, the ColecoVision.
But God, that wire! I can't stop staring at it. I do like the weird logo they've got on the front, which is very colourful, and then everything else is just black and white.
It's the same logo as Concorde. That's what confused me when they announced that game, and I was like, "What? Sony are making the ColecoVision?"
So are we going after the 5200, but before the Pong? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, I think it's worse than the Pong.
You think no? It's not.
I'm gonna agree with the Craig. I think the Craig. I'm gonna agree with Craig. It's a middle D for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got the Odyssey and Coleco, Gold Star, however it is, both in F. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I was just I made an F tier.
Speaking of F, the Fairchild Channel F. Pengi.
It has got a wood grain, but I can't. I've never seen one in the flesh or anything. I don't know what these controllers are. I'm gonna go a D as well, and I'm gonna go between the 5200 and the Pong.
I think for me it's F, but because it's better than a Magnavox Odyssey, and that's it.
No, I think it's better than the Coleco and the Pong.
Ooh,
it might be better than the ColecoVision as well. I think it's between the 5200 and the ColecoVision.
I'm not gonna. You both said D, so I'm not gonna argue with you.
Yeah.
Here's a bit of a weird one because it's a screen, but it's the Vectrex. Pengi Vectrex. Just on looks, not on how. Because I think it looks pretty bad. I'll be honest.
It does look hideous. I'm guessing that controller plugs into the front of it
I
as
think
well.
it comes out
Yeah,
of the
is
front
it-
of it. I don't think it plugs
Yeah,
into
it's out of it
anything.
and it's wired in, and you
Yeah.
put sheets on the screen. See, it hasn't got a sheet on the screen. I still want to go C.
No way. No way.
No, it's
I'm-
not. No, I was thinking F.
Yeah,
Personally, I was thinking. Where did we put the good grain Telstar Coleco?
So
thing?
the
Bottom of F at
porn
the
star
moment.
mustache is second bottom of F. Bottom of F is the Magnavox Odyssey.
I think it's just above the porn star mustache.
I am also game for that.
Yeah, I
Because
think it's between the Pong and the porn star mustache.
I don't think it's got the classic. Just on looks, I don't think it looks as nice as the Pong system. So we're going to do that there. Right, so now we've got the Mattel Intellivision, which, to be honest, is a sexy ColecoVision. So I'm going to put it just above the ColecoVision for me and D, but you guys can fight that amongst yourselves.
Ooh. It is very 70s.
Yeah, I just think it's a wood-stained, sexy version of the ColecoVision. That's literally how I see it. They've got the two controllers in the top.
Yeah, and
Like-
the thing is, I think it looks better than the Fairchilds. I think a D and personally, I think D above the Fairchild.
Where are we thinking, Davey?
I was thinking D around about there as well, to be honest with you. So yeah, probably
So
not.
what are we thinking between the 5200 and the Fairchild? Is
Yeah,
that what
I think
we're
that's
all thinking.
that's why I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, the company that brought us Barbie, but they couldn't make it an attractive console. Back to Atari, the 7800, which to me just looks like a 5200 Slim.
I think that's sort of what it was, from what I can remember.
Yeah, I think it's probably slightly better looking than the 5200 because the controller looks a bit nicer. I know it's a crap controller, but we're just going on looks.
Yeah, you got all the stupid buttons on there, so I would say D.
But still
above
D.
the
Yeah,
top,
it's still D.
top of D.
Craigo.
What we're saying is so top of D essentially.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Does that make it a C? No, I think we're right. I think still do, yeah.
So, we're almost to stuff we know. The last thing of something I don't think I've ever really encountered is a Commodore 64. I like
See,
the
this
joystick.
isn't actually. See, this is not to me a Commodore 64. This is a Commodore 64C. I want to say it's supposed to be, because obviously it's got no keyboard or anything like that. It's the console-vised version of Commodore 64, which I don't really like, because I want to say F.
Yeah, I can't argue against F. I think probably not quite as... I think the screen for the Vectrex makes it look cooler than this, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Were you thinking? All right, I'll propose between the Vectrex and the Pornstar mustache.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, Pengi, you happy with that?
Yeah. Vectrex is better.
Okay.
Right, so we're on to consoles we know. The Nintendo Entertainment System. So I'm going to throw out a potentially controversial but opening C. Chris Pengelly, discuss.
I'm also go C, because it is just a square box. It's just a grey square box.
Craigo.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. C.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful square box there. Look at the tonal colour.
Well,
The cute little buttons on the bottom. It's got the little grill bit on top. You got the bit that folds up. No, I was thinking A.
Ooh.
yeah.
C, boys. That's
but if
brutal.
But if I'm going C and Dave's going C, it goes in C.
It
What
does.
about B? Can I talk you up to a B?
It's difficult because the controller is the best thing about it. Because the controller has a beautiful design.
Look at that colour scheme, though,
I
boys. Look how the colour scheme matches the controller as well.
And the thing lifts to put in. You've got to put the game in and tip it down. And
Yeah, it reminds me like that of a VCR.
I'm-
And I remember this was also supposed to be designed as a toy for children. It's not. Surely it should be bright and colourful. It's a design for a toy for children, not grey and black. So yeah, C. I consider C.
yeah, top of C for me. Sorry, Craig.
It's the
We're
only one
getting
in
C. That is brutal, boys. Okay. that's how we feel.
The Sega Master System Model 1. We don't have a picture of the Model 2, and the Model 2 we're not going to consider. The Model 2 for me is S tier, but Model 1, Craigo.
I'm just getting a picture a second. What did you say, sorry?
So the Model 1 is what we have here. There was two models. The Model 2 the Model 2 I love. So but the Model 2 isn't on show, it's just the Model 1. Because I couldn't be asked to download a Model 2 picture. So for this, I'm going to let you go in first before I bring out my view of the Master System Model 1.
Well, I'm sorry, there's no way that is better looking than the Nintendo Entertainment System. So it can't go above that. Surely. Oh, God. I reckon that might go between the Ataris and D, personally. Between the 7800 and the 5200.
Pengi.
I would go bottom C.
Okay. I'm joining Craigo. That's where I'm, unfortunately. Model 2, we could have had an argument, but I think there is too much going on this console. What is, like, why have we got a diagram of how to plug it into the TV? Why is it a weird shape? Come on, Sega, what are we doing here?
Where in D are we putting it?
I think between the Ataris is safe.
Yeah.
Okay, you're both going for there, so that's where it's going.
Chris is livid. Hudson Soft's TurboGrafx 16. Not the one with the disk drive on the back. The one that they class on this thing is mini.
Yeah. Weird. I don't know. Yeah, who's written that. Yeah, see, if it was the PC Engine, we could be having a different conversation here. But I'm thinking it's a D.
I agree, it's a D, and I'd put it above the 5200, but not above the Master System.
See, I think... Yeah.
I actually, so, yeah, between the Master System, I get aboard with that, Davey.
God, we're harsh people, aren't we? Look at these. Right, so we've got the first thing you two are going to have to look at, because it's not on here for me. I had to import an image, and that is the European Super Nintendo. Because the American one looks very different to ours. Now, I'm going to argue this is the first S-tier design. It's a beautiful console. I love the colours. I love the shape. I think it's absolutely stunning. The controller's amazing. Beautiful colours on the controller. For me, the Super Nintendo is the first S-tier. Argue against me, Pengi. I know you want to.
I'm going to go high. I think it's an A tier. I think it's A.
Craig.
Yeah.
So is this the one without the purple buttons?
Yeah.
Yes, you have to.
So
you'll have to Google it.
I've got an image. Yeah. I've got an image. I've got.
It'd be easier to put Super Famicom because ours it's the same as Japan.
It does. Like Pringles is correct.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This is not better than the Nintendo Entertainment System.
You are a madman, Craigo.
No way.
An absolute madman.
This looks way worse.
No, you're wrong.
You are wrong.
I put it C below the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Well, luckily it's 2-1, so I'm going to join Pengi on A.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. It's a beautiful console. Stunning, in fact. You, Craig, are wrong, but it's fine. I'm sure this will come back to bite us on the ass later. Don't you worry. Right. So back to stuff that looks like VCRs. We got the Philips CDI.
That would be a F tier, Davey. Maybe top of F because the controller looks normal.
Top of F, but is this is the one with the second controller port is in the back, if I remember rightly?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. So that is top of F for me. Craigo.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking disgusting, isn't it? Just that front display is just enough. So what are we thinking? What, above the Vectrex? Is that where we are?
I think it looks like a games console, so that's better than the Vectrex.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Oh, is it better? I feel like it's better than the Atari Pong boys.
I mean, the Atari Pong is from 1977, and that still has a better layout for two controllers. So I think not.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll go with that. So just behind the Pong, between the Vectrex. Okay.
Yeah. So now we've got what they call the Sega Genesis Model 1. Obviously, it's the Mega Drive. So you can look at either the Genesis or the Mega Drive. They're the same shape. I think they've got some different patterns on the top.
They got slightly different colours. Like ours has got the red on it.
I think the Mega Drive is a beautiful console. I think that sits in C for me.
That would be a B for
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I think C's too harsh. I think it's a B. I think it's behind the Atari though.
Okay. Okay, we can do that. It's fine. And then this is the first instance, I think, of the second model, the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive Model 2. I would specifically look at the Mega Drive Model 2 with the red buttons. Again, for me, I think that's a B. I love the Model 2. Model 2's
Yeah,
better.
I think. Yeah, I think B as well for that.
Better or worse than
Is
the first one?
the
No, I think
Genesis
it's
Gen 2? Is that what we're looking
Yeah,
at?
I'd
think
look at
it's
the Mega
less-
Drive Model 2 for Europe because it does have
Oh,
it has
yeah.
better buttons.
The Asian one's got like blue buttons and stuff. That's really nice looking.
Yeah, I love the Model 2. I think that's better looking than the Genesis. I think it's better looking than the Atari, but I can be argued.
Yeah,
either way.
I would. Put
Yeah,
that
I agree. That actually, yeah, top of B. We're thinking, yeah.
Lovely
Yeah.
stuff. Sega. So what's it got for me next? So we've got the SNK Neo Geo.
Are we doing CD or are we doing AES first?
We'll do the AES first and then the CD.
Okay.
So the AES, just the one that says Neo Geo for Craig. Pengi.
It's about size of 4 football pitches. It's D. It's huge. It's massive. It's too big.
Well, that's well said. I agree. I think it's probably better looking than the Turbo Graphics. I probably slightly prefer the chaos of the Sega Master System Model 1, but that's probably where I put it.
Yeah, I put it above the 5200 personally.
Okay, what about you, Craig?
Yeah, it's just a box, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Just a big box with a concave bit on the top. It's not great to look at, is it? No. So what we above the Master System or below? I feel like below the Master System.
Yeah, that's what I
Between
put
the
it.
Master System and the Turbo Graphics, is that what we're thinking, boys?
Yeah, that seems fair.
We're in agreement there? Yeah, I can get on board with
I
that.
got
I
it
think.
above the 5200, but yeah.
That's fine.
Wait, where have you put that up? Penguin was doing his own thing. Is that right?
No, I thought I followed along with you guys, but yeah.
The viewers can see what we're doing, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So to follow up with the Neo Geo CD, I think this is better looking than the Neo Geo. I think it's better looking than the Master System, but it's probably still a D for me. It's just kind of boring, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just this black sort of box. I would maybe put above the top of D.
Okay, I could agree with that, Craig.
Yeah. So what? Just above the 7800. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, so next we've got a Chris Pengelly favourite. We've got the Atari Jaguar and that controller. For me, F. Absolute F. I think it looks disgusting.
I actually agree. That's absolutely hideous, isn't it? It looks like a really old internet router, doesn't it? That's what it looks like. If you turn that on its side or on its back, it doesn't look good. And that font for Jaguar is disgusting as well.
What? You don't like the Jag font?
No, that's absolutely horrible. I mean, I think it's. So what? Just above the CDI or below the CDI?
I think
maybe?
below the Vectrex.
Below the Vectrex.
I like that the Vectrex has its own style.
Commodore.
I like that the Vectrex has its own style, having a fucking old CRT built in. And even the controller on the Vectrex looks more comfortable than that Jaguar controller.
Yeah, okay. I can go forward with that.
Sorry, Pengi.
Where were you thinking, Pengi?
I was thinking it's C.
There's no taste, right?
No.
So
Well, it's going in S somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good enough.
Yeah.
Behind the Vectrex. So we got the 3DO. We'll go the first 3DO, which is the slidey CD tray one with the four corners, looks like a castle. Again, the controllers for this, Craigo, the second controller plugs into the top of the first controller like a daisy
This
chain.
is the daisy chain machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first
Which
model
is really good for like multiplayer. You didn't have to buy like a multi-tap and stuff. You could just plug.
you just
modes in,
yank
but-
it out the way if you're not happy with how they're playing, though, can you? You're playing with your sibling, you just yank their controller out the top of your controller. I think this first model, the 3DO, It's better looking than a CDI, but I still think the Pong machine looks better than this.
I
See, I want to go D.
I quite like the little like pillar bits in the corners, boys. I don't know why.
It looks like a marble finish as well. If you get a big picture up, it's not. It's plastic, but it looks like it's trying to be like a fancy marble. Yeah. So where would you put it, Craigo?
I'm thinking. God, I don't know. I feel like it's better than like the Fairchild and the ColecoVision. Is it better than the television? Yeah, I think it is. I'd maybe go between the Intellivision and the Atari 5200, but we're still in D anyway, aren't we? So
yeah, I think that's between everyone, so I think that's fair. We'll put it in there.
Yeah, sure. So yeah.
I think the Model 2 is better looking.
See, I like
the top loader. I still think it's D. Probably bottom of D. I think it's better than the CD. I think it's better than the CDI.
yeah, it's definitely better, isn't it? It's definitely better. I'd say between the 7800 and the CDI, I think.
Yeah, so the 7800 is in top, like second in D at the minute. So do
Yeah.
you think it's better than the Master System?
Yeah.
Okay, I will agree with you.
Okay.
Sega Saturn. Pengi, let's hear the pitch.
See, so Sega Saturn. It's just it's a hard one, isn't it? Saturn. I'm gonna say C.
So I would say C, but the caveat is the Japanese grey one.
See, when you get into Japan, you get all the different colors and stuff. Like the white one, or the white one would be like an A or something. But I'm just going for standard black. And you got the two versions with the different buttons as well. But because this has got the square buttons, but I think it is better with like the more rounded buttons, which isn't in this. And I think that's the Mark 1 controller, not the Mark 2 controller. Looking at the picture, but I'm saying C, below the NES.
I think
It's just it looks a lot like the Neo Geo CD to me.
It's what I was about to say. If you take nostalgia away, I think it's probably slightly better than the Neo Geo CD, but they're very much.
That's why I'm going. That's why I'm going bottom of C. So it's
Yeah, I will fight that this is not going above the fucking Nintendo Entertainment System, though.
Okay, I will put it.
It's got to go below
put it
that.
in bottom of
Yeah.
C. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now we've got the first model of Sony PlayStation. For me, classic A design. Penguin.
I think this is S.
Ooh, Craig's
I
first
love
S shot.
the circle on the CD thing, and then the matching circular buttons as well. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's S.
Classic controller. You've got the sort of different levels with it.
The memory card, does it have the memory card? Is that
does.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's S.
Pengi.
I would have gone A, but if you're both going S, that's
I was going A.
okay. So me and you going A.
I'd be happy with. All right, what about A, but above the fucking SNES?
Yes.
How about that?
I'll concede. Whether I like it or not. A. Now we've got the PS1, which is the slim PlayStation 1. Obviously, you can get a little screen for this, Craigo, that pops up on the back, which is my favourite thing. I love this. It's one of my favourite consoles of all time in terms of just having it. But it's not as good looking as the original model. So I'd probably put this in high B, maybe top of B.
It is pretty cute though, but I do think it's a B.
Yeah, it's a tiny console as well, which I loved about it. But yeah, I think it's probably better looking than the Mega Drive.
So what, top of B we're thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can get on board with that.
Oh, here we go. We'll start with Craigo, the N64.
Oof. Okay. It is essentially a black box, isn't it?
It can be many colours of box, the Nintendo 64.
I do. Oh, I don't know actually. I do like the grey controller ports. I'd like the simple buttons on top. I think what have we got in other places? I mean, it's better looking than the fucking Saturn, isn't it? Let's be honest. I think it's a B actually. I think it might be. I think it might. I'm going to say B. I'm going to say between the Genesis Gen 2 and the PlayStation Gen 2.
Okay, Craig, Pengi.
I would have gone. I think between the Genesis Mark II and the 2600 on B.
See, I was going to have this at C because I think it's a horribly ugly shape, and then obviously got the ugly ass power thing hanging out the back, and the controller is disgusting to look at. But I will concede.
I don't know. I think it's quite nice to look at. It's disgusting to play with.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I mean, I'm happy with the B between the 2600 and the Genesis Mark One.
Yeah.
If we're going to concede with that,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Again, we'll start with Pengi on this one. The Sega Dreamcast that you famously let die.
Okay. We're not doing the Virtual Boy.
We're not doing the Virtual Boy, as that never released in the United Kingdom.
Plus, I guess that would technically it's a handheld as well.
Technically, it's yeah.
Dreamcast. I can't even see Dreamcast on this list, but I obviously know what Dreamcast
It's in
looks
purple.
like. Yeah, I see it. Oh, Dreamcast has to be B, surely.
You're mad. I love the Dreamcast, but it's at best
It's just a little right. So we have the PS1 Mini in was slim, whatever, in B. This is a small white console as well.
Yeah, but it's not.
And
it's not got the smooth curves. The controller is disgusting to look at. And yeah, again, I love the Dreamcast as a console, but as to look at, I think it's not as nice as the NES. I think it's a C between the NES and the Saturn, personally.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward to look at, isn't it? It can. I mean, oh god. See, you guys putting the NES so low has killed me because I cannot have it above the NES. Yeah, maybe C between the NES and the Saturn.
Okay, you're overruled, Pengi.
Mm.
Yeah, it does. Okay. It looks better with the European blue swirl, obviously, but
yeah.
The controller is disgusting. Yeah, it's fine. Right, I think this is a pretty easy one. The chunky PlayStation 2. This is an S tier for me. Craigo?
Yes, yeah, definitely, 100%, easy.
Pengi?
I would have gone A. Maybe you're both going S.
Yeah,
then.
Love it. Special mention for the beautiful silver.
Yeah,
PS2
that's the one I've got. The silver one.
Gorgeous,
the blue's really nice. The aqua blue and stuff.
Yeah. Gorgeous,
Japan got like a see-through dark blue. That's very nice as well. But if you're just going for standard black, I think see A. But I think in the colours, it's a bit like the N64. If you put it in a colour, it just look better.
Oh, yeah, even black, it's an S tier for me. It's one of the best looking consoles ever made. I love it. Love the PS2.
I feel like this was copied a lot as well, wasn't it? This design afterwards.
Yeah, I mean it's a mix between like a sleek piece of tech and a games console, and yeah, it's PS2s are fantastic. It's their best.
The PS2's weirdly copied though design of some Atari thing that isn't actually on here, but
yeah. But the PS2 Slim, I think this is a B. I think it loses a lot of its personality being so thin. It was really cool that it was so thin. It was like a book, but I just think it loses a little bit of its design in the Slim. So I'm gonna say bottom of B. Craig?
Yeah, I feel like I ever saw one of these in the flesh. I'm looking. I think you're right, actually.
It's very thin. Like it's tiny.
It does. It looks tiny. It does. You're right. It loses some of its character. What were you saying? B.
I'd say bottom of B because I still like it more than the Super Nintendo, the NES. Sorry, because of it, the controller's better and like it still looks like a games console, not a box.
Yeah. But so behind the Mega Drive, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I can.
What the bottom of B we're going for the
the very bottom of B.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, this is going to be maybe a controversial one, so I'm going to let Pengi go first. The original Xbox.
And the original Xbox, see, I really like the original Xbox. It does what it's called Xbox. It says a box with an X on it, and it's got that nice green bit in the middle. I'm going A.
I am also going to go A. Craig?
I think you're right. I think it's just it's so silly, isn't it? The fact it's called Xbox and it does just have a big X on it. I mean, the green's brilliant as well. I think A. I think Oh, I think it's between the two. We've already got an A, personally.
Yeah,
I
agree.
agree with that. And again, special shout out for my lovely crystal one.
Yeah.
Another one.
It is weird though, because we've got the SNK Neo Geo in like D, which is massive as well, and it's just for the Xbox. I don't know, it just pulls it off being that size.
Love it. The opposite to size, Pengi.
Yeah.
The Nintendo GameCube. It does have a handle.
S.
Before
Top of S.
Craig.
I think it's an S as well, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I don't like the handle, I'll be honest. But it is
brilliant.
It's a beautiful thing. It is, is it blue or purple?
It's indigo purple.
It is purple. That's just why Penguin love purple. And I love the purple and then the white on the front as
also,
well.
the black is the other launch colour, but you got like the pearl white one. Oh. And then
I like the way the buttons
silver.
indent as well into the disc drive thing. Yeah, I think this is S. I don't think it's better than PS2. I think it's second in S, personally.
Yeah, I will agree.
Okay, yeah. A little bit like the Xbox, it does what it says. It's a game cube.
The controller elevates it quite high as well because the controller's great. Yeah. Another wonderful.
Yeah, but not going on feel though.
No, how it looks. It has colours. I like colours. Craigo, the original Xbox 360.
Oh, I love it. I love the 360. I love the curved front. I think it's A. Right, you two say where you two, but I think A personally.
I think A below the Xbox, but above the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Bengals.
I would have gone top of B, so we're going wherever Dave puts it then. Which was Xbox and SNES between those two, or was it below SNES?
No, above the SNES, but below the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox Slim. Personally, think it loses a lot with this design. I think it's probably better than the PS2 Slim, but that's probably the best I would be willing to give it.
Yeah, I would go top of A. I think it's just the best looking 360.
Oh, no, I don't know if I agree. I don't like the weird, half and half nature to it. And it's got weird angles on it as well, doesn't it? I don't think it's that nice at all. I think it's C actually. I put it between the Dreamcast and the NES.
Where were you going, Dave?
I was going lower bottom of B. But I'll put it in C above the NES. That's the only C
I was going to say
that.
Surely, if I was going A, Dave, Crow was going C, then it would have been your B. Do you want to put it on bottom of B?
I'll put it on top of C. I think.
Top of C, so being above the NES.
Now, a very easy argument to make. The Xbox 360E, I think, top of D. I think it has no personality whatsoever.
See, again, we're going for the standard black. They do a really nice blue and turquoisey coloured one. But yeah, I would. Yeah, D. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I think it's D. What we're thinking,
I think it's better than the OG CD just by nature of it looking quite clean. But it's got no personality. It's just oh cool, it's an Xbox One themed 360 to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we got the Nintendo Wii. A controversial one because I think it's a bit over subscribed. I think it's a C. I think it's a low C, personally.
It looks like a Wi-Fi, doesn't it?
I just think it's a really boring. Especially when you take it out of the stand, I think it's just a really boring looking console. I don't think it's very exciting at all.
Oh god, yeah, out of the stand it isn't great at all, and I've just seen that.
But
what did you say? Sorry, C.
C, because I think the controller gives it enough personality to go into C. But I think it's probably better than the Saturn, maybe below the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Pengi, are you angered by this statement?
Really, I was going A.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, the shine of it. Oh, the shiny. It still looks modern now. The blue light on it when you turn it on,
Get
the
your Wii out right now and tell me that's a fact. I just don't think it's just a little square box. It's not.
Yeah, it's just this clean, shiny. Oh, good. Yeah, fits anywhere.
Luckily, me and Craig get the overriding vote, so it goes there.
So somehow we have the Wii. insane.
Sorry, all the
Topless thing,
Nintendo
then,
fans. No,
surely.
it's below the Dreamcast. It's not better than an NES.
But if I was going A,
But me and Craig have both said the same place.
where you both said below the Dreamcast, was it above the Dreamcast?
I think below the Dreamcast, above the Saturn.
That's mental. That is mental. That's the worst thing we've done all day.
No, the fucking NES being so low is the worst thing we've done.
The Wii Mini. Obviously, I actually own a Wii Mini. I quite look at the Wii Mini, but I can't sit here and argue that it's better looking than much. So I think, again, top of D. More personality than a 360e, but not as much as
red
Saturn.
and black. Yeah.
I can get. Yeah.
Right, let's get to the next Chris Pengi pitch. The original Sony PlayStation 3. Chris, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you put it?
A. It's right. So it is pretty big. We're getting like original. It is pretty big, but that shiny, gloss on it, the silver trim and stuff. It looked like it should have. It looked like a premium piece of kit.
Like a George Foreman grill.
It looked $599. It looked like you had to get a second job for it.
The Spider-Man font on it.
Oh, the Spider-Man font. Everyone loves Spider-Man. Yeah, little flap on it. The controller just being basically a copy of the PS2 does.
But with no rumble.
But it's not on feel.
Yeah,
but it's not feel, so rumble doesn't matter because you can't feel the rumble. It's on looks.
I think it's not as good looking as an NES, for sure. I could see it being more interesting than a Dreamcast, but that's my opening salvo is that C, to be honest.
I think it's hideous. Absolutely fucking hideous. I think it's below the Dreamcast. I would go
above or below the Wii.
I think it's maybe. I think it's probably better than the Saturn. I'd go between the Dreamcast and the Wii. I think it's awful to look at.
I'm inclined.
The weird bit at the front that sticks out.
Well, that lifts up as well into ports you'll never use.
Oh, it's just.
Unless you got a 40 gig model, about mate.
And then the weird curve. Oh no, it's awful. The more you look at it, the worse it looks like 5 people have designed it, and they've all just had different ideas. They go, it's just.
It's probably
do a bit of all of it.
600 people designed it, and it was just so over designed. I agree. I'll put it above the Wii and below the Dreamcast.
We've got this. We got C so wrong, haven't we? Because we somehow got the Wii and PS3.
We can have some adjustments at the end. It's fine. PS3 Gen 2, which is the first slim model. More basic, horrible matte finish, so it does get all of the fingerprints and stuff. I don't like this at all. Definitely not an A. I think it's better. I think it's better looking than the last model. Craigo, I need some help here.
Yeah, see, I would have put below the Super Nintendo.
I think it's a B.
Okay, so that's right.
And I think it's the bottom of B, personally. I think it's much better than the first PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's better than the
Have you seen one
Slim.
in white or red, though?
No, I'm just looking at the picture. I think bottom of B, personally. That's where I'd go.
PS2 Slim or PS3 Slim above each other? Which way? Because I
think the 2 Slim is better looking than the 3
Yeah,
Slim.
I think I agree. Yeah, I think I agree. PS3 Gen 3, the Super Slim with the slidey top.
It's awful. It's god awful.
It's not an F.
It's top F. It's top of F.
It's pretty ugly. I think it's a D. I think it's probably. It's got less personality than most things. I think it's below the Intellivision, but I can't sit here with a straight face and say it's uglier than a Channel F. Craigo.
I'm just finding a picture. Oh, it is pretty bad, actually, isn't it?
It looks like it's made for so it's like the opposite of the original. Original PS3 looks like it's $600 in like this premium thing. This looks like it's made for £6. It's so cheap, and the slidey thing is awful. It looks.
I've never seen this before in my life. The slidey bit.
You have to slide. You don't even.
Oh god! Yeah. Did you say F Pengos?
Yeah.
I think I agree. It's
you have to get up to check. You got to do your slidey bit. You are sliding something in like 2012. Oh no, I haven't got an eject button.
2020.
What's the top of F? What have we got at the top of
The
F?
Philips CDI is currently the top of F.
I think I prefer the CDI. I'd go between the CDI and the Vectrex.
I think below the
Actually, is it worse than the Jaguar? I think it's worse than the Jaguar. I think it's between the Jag and the Commodore. Actually.
Yeah, I think we can agree with that.
See, I would have put. I thought you wanted to put it D, Dave.
I mean, I did, but like, the more you look at it, the worse it gets. Like, it looks so cheap.
Okay, so yeah, it is really cheap.
Yeah, the Jaguar at least had buttons on the controller, right? So we'll put it. Okay, so here's a classic. Oh, this is gonna hurt me. I suppose the Wii U. I like the Wii U. I think the Wii U looks really nice and I like the smooth edges of the Wii U. I would put this in C, probably above the Saturn and below the Wii. But arguments can be heard.
It is a worse looking Wii because it's a little bit too long, and then we're obviously taking the gamepad into consideration. We're not using the gamepad; we're just looking at the gamepad, and it does look like a Fisher Price toy. So I think it has to be bottom of C.
Craig,
yeah, I can agree with that. I think.
Okay. Here's a controversial one, so I'm going to let Craig go first. The original Xbox One.
Oh, it's not a looker, is it at all?
See, I disagree so hard.
Where would you put it?
I love. So I mean, this is going to upset so many people. I think it's top of B. I love the original Xbox. I think it's a stunning looking console. Chloe disagrees, but I don't love the. I think the Xbox One's a gorgeous console.
Tell Chloe to bring up a picture of the Philips CDI and the Xbox One, and tell me if she can spot the difference.
We don't need your propaganda, Chris McGilly.
Yeah, you know.
What did you say, B, Dave?
Oh yeah, I love the thing. I think it's B.
I did like the button, the touch button. What else have we got on B?
Gen 2, Sony PlayStation, Mega Drive Model 2.
I mean, I think it looks better than the 360 Gen 2, the Slim 360. So I wouldn't. I also think it looks better than the PlayStation 2. I'd go between the PlayStation Gen 2 and the PlayStation 3 Gen 2, sorry, and the PlayStation 2 Gen 2.
Okay, Pengi?
I would have put this at the top of F.
Oh, you're an absolute.
It's not that bad.
It's just a VCR, and we have the CDI in F. It's just a black CDI.
No, but not letting Penguin's Xbox hate roll through. I'm agreeing with Craig. Up it goes. The 1S. Craig.
The 1S is beautiful.
It is.
It is a sex. Oh, the textured bit on the right is awesome, isn't it? I think this is S tier.
Oh, it's bold.
I think this is S tier. I think this is
A.
I think this is second, actually. I'd go between the PlayStation.
Wow,
and
really? I think this is A. I think it to the point of we've got right now. It's the best looking Xbox, and I think it's probably better looking than the Sony PlayStation. It's just a beautiful little machine. So I think my argument's A. Craig's argument is S. Pengi.
I would have put it at the top of B.
Okay, so we're going to meet in the middle at A. Is that fair?
Yeah, top of A though.
I think it's got to be at least second or top. I think top. I think it's better than the PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, I can see
it's
the
worse
top
than
of A.
it's worse than original Xbox.
It's 2-1. Above it goes. The 1X. I don't think this looks as nice as the 1S. Personally, I think this is another C job. Probably better looking than the N64. Craigie, tell me otherwise.
I kind of dislike it, actually. I don't.
You want to hear where I'm putting it, Craig, first?
I would have put this. So I would have put the S in S, and then this in maybe A. I would go.
I'm putting it in the bottom of S. I think the Xbox One X is the best looking Xbox. It's just this clean, sleek piece of kit. A bit like, I'm going back to the PS3, even though you put it thing. It looks premium. It looks like a premium product. I'm going bottom of S.
Craig.
What did Dave say? B.
I think B. I think B. But again, I think if you think it's bottom of S, then I think no, that's fair. If you think A, I think that's also fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like it being above the 1S though.
I think the 1S is a prettier device. Just on
Yeah,
pure
same.
looks. I think obviously on design and like the actual innards, I think obviously it's one of the best they've ever done. I think pure looks, the S is a gorgeous machine.
Looking at them side by side, but yeah, the 1X just looks nicer. I think I know they both got like disc trays, but you can't like see the disc tray and stuff on the 1X and stuff, and makes it look a little bit sleeker.
I'll go with Pengels, I guess.
So we're putting it bottom of S.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a rogue one now. The Ouya.
Ooh yeah.
I actually really like the way it looks. I think it's D. I think it's fine. I think it looks fine. I think obviously it was trash, but like the cute little box, I think it was quite cute.
I want to say I can't see it on here. I know what it looks like. I want to say a C.
Wow, Craigo.
Yeah, I think it's better than the Ds actually.
Yeah. Is it better or worse than a Wii U?
I think it's better than PlayStation 3. I'd go between the PlayStation 3 and the Dreamcast personally.
Okay, I can get on board with that. I think it's cute.
What color is Yuya? I can't see it.
It's silver.
It's like silver.
I've got one in here somewhere. It's a lovely little machine.
Yeah. We agreeing with that between just below the Dreamcast?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Above the PS3.
This is one I'm gonna get lots of flack for. Sony PlayStation 4, bottom of D. I could argue.
I haven't seen
it
the visual.
Arguably better than the Pong, and that's it. I think it's a disgusting design console. It's a horrible shape. It's disgusting two-tone. But then we're not even going to talk about its performance, because that put it to an F. But like, it looks disgusting. It overheats at the back because it's angled up, so the heat goes into its own ports. It cooks itself. Yeah, I think it's fucking disgusting. The PS4.
I like it.
You're an animal.
See, again, I can't remember the last time I've seen a like original PS4 in the wild and stuff. And obviously this one stood up, not on its side, which
you've got Google images, Pengi. You can have a look.
Yeah, I know. I just using the picture that we have on the thing. Let me put PS4.
I think I like the two-tone as well. I think it's
because you could change the cover on the top, and obviously like the special edition ones, like the Metal Gear one, that's red and stuff.
I think it's S. I like it.
You are insane.
I think it's S.
I think it's disgusting.
That is, yeah. See, I'm thinking B. I'm thinking top of B. Though. Because the problem is now, obviously, we're looking at it. So, I would have the Xbox One at top of F, and this looks way better than the Xbox One. But then it does look way worse than the 1S, which you got in A. So yeah, I would think B.
You reckon B?
Pengels is in the middle, so I think it's gonna have to be B.
Yeah, we're going top of B at least, surely.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's where it kind of worked out.
Better looking than a PS1. There's no taste, is there?
We got the PS1 and the Gen 2.
Yeah, the PS1.
I reckon top of B.
Wow.
Yeah, if that's
The slim PS4. I mean, it's better looking than the original, so I guess I'd put it above it in B. That's my only argument. I don't think it's any better looking than that.
I think it looks worse.
Yeah, see, I think it's worse as well. It's it's a little black slab, isn't it?
God.
Where it's just that's got a little bit of thing.
I think the colours, bottom of D, personally.
Yeah, I think obviously colours, like you had the blue one and stuff, which looked nice. But yeah, I think it's the problem is. See, I think it looks worse than the PS3 Slim, but I think it looks better than the Xbox One. So that's where I would put it. I would put it between the Xbox One and the PS3.
I think.
I can get on board with that actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
PS4 Pro, which is just the slim but bigger, I guess.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same, doesn't it? It's got to go next to it, surely.
Yeah, better or worse?
Yeah, I think
if you said that's the same thing, I would not.
It's got an
noticeable.
extra layer. That's the difference. It's 3 layers.
I go one higher because it's an extra layer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not.
And like the thing is, like my PS4 Pros, I've had were both like special edition coloured. So yeah, I'm a little bit biased there.
Evercade versus. I think this is top of D. It's interesting. It's a cute little.
Yeah,
design.
it's weird because we've got the new one coming, but it is just like black and blue instead of white and red. The new one, I do think it's a D. I think it is worse. I think it D. I want to say, yeah, between the Neo Geo and the 5200.
Okay, I can agree.
Reggie?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it does look better in the new colours, but it's just the colour variant, the VSR, that's coming.
Craigo, the Xbox Series S.
I think the Series S is a beautiful thing. I think the Series S is an S personally.
Yeah, I think it's S, and I think if it's the black version, it's top of S, only below the PS2. But the white S, I think I'd have it third. I think it's better looking than a 1X personally.
Yeah.
Pengi?
I would have it bottom of the S, bottom of S rank. I think the black does look better, but I think most people would like it would be the white one, and I think the black fan on the white doesn't look that great, but it is so small and cute. But the black one does look very nice. I would say bottom of S.
The Xbox Series X, Pengi.
So where have we actually gone for
So
it? It's in S. But
So the S has gone below the GameCube, above the 1X. That's what me and Craig put.
yeah, cool.
The Series X, though, Pengi, what do you think of the Series X?
I think it's a. It's weird. So it's like an odd shape, isn't it? But then it's got that nice green on the top. B, the top of B.
I think it's an A, probably just below the 360.
Yeah, it's weird because it stood up. I think it's a thing of fucking beauty.
Yeah.
But
on
mine
its
isn't stood up.
on its side,
Mine's on its
it's in F. But on stood up like it is in this picture, I think it's bottom.
Yeah.
Bottom of A, maybe slightly better than the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Mm-hmm. So it's below the 360, above the SNES. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, here's one I want Craig's opinion on. The Sony PlayStation 5.
Absolutely fucking hideous. The first thing that comes to my mind is it worse than the PlayStation 3?
Absolutely, yes, it is.
It's awful, isn't it? I mean, I'm looking around my shoulder now. It's just disgusting to look at, isn't it? The stupid fucking stand looks awful as well. Mine's lying down. The way the disc tray looks, it looks stupid. It's awful. Oh, it's dreadful. Everything about it is dreadful. I think this is. I think it's.
I think it's bottom of D.
What's top of F at the moment?
The CDI. I think it's better looking than a CDI.
Yeah.
I could make an argument.
Bottom of D?
Bottom of D is Pong.
Oh, it's better than. I'd go above the. Actually, I don't know. I'd maybe go above the ColecoVision, but below the Fairchild.
I think above the Fairchild, but not as nice as the Intellivision, because the Intellivision at least looks interesting. I hate the PS5 design. I think it's the worst.
Yeah,
I think it's comfortably
disgusting.
the worst major console for a long time. Like, I think it's hideous. It's too big. It's a weird shape. Like I said, on its side, it's F. But stood up, because we did the same with the Xbox, I think it's better than that. But yeah, I think it's below the Intellivision, above the Channel 5, the Channel F. Sorry, I imagine Pengi's fuming over there. Going to tell us now it's S.
It is S. It is between the GameCube and the Series S.
Not a chance.
It is absolute gorgeous.
Thankfully, me and Craig 2-1.
So this list is. Where is it going?
So it's going in D, above the Channel F.
It would at least go top of D, seeing I'm putting it in S.
No. Well, you've got. There's one more chance for redemption for Chris Pengelly, because I have added the PS5 Slim. Which I do think is better looking than the main one. I think it's probably top of D. The smaller size, I think, is a huge change. I like the split line. It looks, particularly the digital version that doesn't have the disc drive, I think looks really, really nice. In multiple colors, I think it's top. I think it's top of D. I don't think it's quite as nice. I think it's quite as interesting as a Wii U because the gamepad's interesting. But I think it's more interesting than a Wii Mini, the Slim.
God, it looks so stupid the way it bulges out for the disc drive, though, doesn't it?
I think if you don't have the disc drive, which is an add-on, so this is the argument I'm trying to make. I think the digital only base PS5 Slim is a much better looking console than the main one, the original one. Sorry, so I think I'm going to play for top of D.
I think it's better than the original. I think you're right. So where were you saying? Sorry, where?
I was going to say the best bit in D, so above the Wii Mini, but below the Wii U.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
Pengi?
I think it's worse than the original PS5, and I would have gone a B. Most probably bottom of B.
Not a chance. The fanboyism from every side on this is quite funny, actually. So we put it there, top of D. And that is all the consoles. We're not going to do a game.
We're not doing the Switch.
No, the Switch is a handheld.
Yeah.
They only ever show a picture of the handheld, because if it's a console, it's just a dock, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
it's a handheld. We'll save that for the handheld. So this is our list.
Yeah.
PlayStation TV?
No, that's Vita.
Oh, we didn't do it on live.
Craig's never seen it on live. Like I said, Iron Fist, this is what it is. So we have got in S tier, so from top to bottom, boys, are you ready for this? The best looking Save Slot 3 console is the PlayStation 2, followed by the GameCube, the Xbox Series S, and then the Xbox One X. Then we've got in A, the Xbox One S, the PlayStation, the Xbox, the 360, Series X, Super Nintendo European Edition. In B, PS4, PS1, Genesis Mark II, 2600, N64, Genesis, PlayStation Slim, PlayStation 2 Slim, original Xbox One, PS4 Pro and PS4 Slim with the PS3 Slim. In C, the Xbox 360S, the NES. I think the NES needs to move, but we'll come back to that. The Dreamcast, the Ouya, the original George Foreman grill PS3, the Wii, the Saturn, the Wii U. Then we got the PS5 Slim, the Wii Mini, the 360e, the Neo Geo CD, the 7800, the 3DO Gen 2, Master System, Neo Geo, the etc. So what we're going to do now, boys, before we finish this, each of us can have one pitch to move one console. And then if the other two agree, then we will move that console. Okay, so Craig, do you have a pitch for a console you want to move?
The NES should not be as low as it is, boys. I'm sorry.
But where do you propose it should be?
A.
Okay.
A. The NES. It's better looking than that fucking Atari thing. Come on, boys.
I think I would. Now that I can see them all in front of me, I think I'd argue top of B. I think it's better looking than the PS4, the PS1, the Mega Drive Mark II. I think it's more classic. You are right. I think the design is pretty timeless. But I don't think it's nicer than the Super Nintendo or the modern consoles we got above it. I think you're top of B. I would agree with you if you are willing to.
Yeah, I can go for that.
Okay. Pengi. Have you got
So
a
where were we?
So the NES has been moved to the top of B.
Top of B, above the PS4.
Above the PS4. Have you got an argument for anything you'd like to move, Pengi?
I would like to move. What do I want to move? Because I think there's a few down the bottom.
Only do one.
I'm just thinking which one. I think the PS5 is outrageous where that is. It should be like A or S or something. But I think the Wii still needs to move up to A.
Where in A are you proposing?
I still think it should be like the top of A. I think that's a cute little box and like the gloss finish and the blue light when you turn it on, and like the controller does look, you're not going on feel and usability, so like the Wiimote does look like a nice controller and stuff when you look at it, because we have other controller similar designs in the older systems where it's like a remote, but none of them look as good as the the Wiimote does. I think top of A.
I would give you, looking at them now, that the Wii is more interesting than the PS2 Slim in B, but no higher. I don't think it's as interesting as a Mega Drive, the N64, the 2600, but I think it's more interesting than the Slim PS2.
I was thinking we could bump it up to B, but I would go like second bottom in B. I think it's better than the PlayStation 3 Gen 2.
Okay, so it's going to B.
Yeah. So my argument, boys. Now I'm really looking at Craig with this. I want to argue that the PlayStation 5 should actually be lower than the Jaguar in F, because it is too big, it's too hideous, and at least the Channel F and the ColecoVision and the Pong are just interesting looking things to look at. The Vectrex has a screen, and it's still smaller than a PS5. So I think PS5 should be below the Vectrex at least.
I reckon in 10 years' time you do this list, the PS5 goes in S.
I think it
holds up, but
no,
that's the thing.
It's just too big and horrible.
In 2032, you'll look at that and go, "Oh yeah, in that so modern looking."
I bet I won't.
Yeah.
Craig, do I have your vote to lower it below the Vectrex in F?
I might even go below the Jaguar, actually. Now that you've said that. I think
the Jaguar does have more buttons on the controller.
I think it might be below the Jag. Actually, no, the Jags. No.
One of the best looking consoles ever made be in F.
I think that it's not as interesting as the Vectrex. I think the Vectrex
and we
is
got
screen.
the Xbox One in B, which is just a VCR.
I love VCRs. It looks like a VCR, Chris, and it's still smaller than a PS5. And you can lay it on its side and it won't like wobble with a stand that you can't screw in that way as well, by the way. It's just you're just on a hope and a prayer that there's no movement in your house, because if your dog
it clips in
at the back, it doesn't clip in at the front.
Yeah, it does. On the back, when you don't have it on the back, it clips. There's 2 slots in the back.
Below the Vectrex, Craig, are you happy with that?
I think below the Jag.
Okay, I'll agree with you there, below the Jag. So there we go, there's a list. Yeah. You can tell which consoles we like, can't you? The top 2 categories. But there you go. Before Chris has an aneurysm, let's get on to our final segment, which is what we've been buying, what we've been playing. Craigo, let's start with you.
On PlayStation, just a bit more Kana. Playing on the Portal. Still loving that. Great game. Once again, you two should check it out. On Xbox, since last time, I think I finished Dungeons of Hinterberg. I don't think I finished that last time we did this. It's great shit. I think last time we did this, I think I was only like 5 or 6 dungeons in. And I was kind of wary as to whether the quality of the dungeons would hold up. It does hold up. They're just great. There's like 26 or 27 dungeons in this game, and they're all just great. It's great shit. I'd recommend it a hell of a lot. It's probably in like my top 3 games of the year at this point. I think it's really good. I'm just going to see how much it is. Obviously, it's part of Game Pass at the moment. But even to buy it, like £25, I think that's pretty reasonable. I know it's only on Xbox at the moment, so it makes sense to play it on Game Pass, but the exclusivity deals with these sorts of games on Xbox doesn't tend to be very long, so I'd imagine it will come to PlayStation pretty soon. And even if it's not on their service, I think for £25 it's worth it, personally. I think you've started it now, right, Pengi? So did you want to chime in now?
Yeah, so I started Dungeons of Hinterberg. I'm on Day 17, I think I'm on my 14 dungeon, because I was looking at the achievements. There's a couple for like not doing dungeons and like hang out at like the pond and the bench and stuff for a day, and you get reaction stats. That does have a little bit of Persona vibes with that. Like, we got all these different, stats. If you do so and so, and you hang out with this person, and then you have got your social links, not in depth as like a Persona, much more basic. But it's like, I hang out with Travis. I'll unlock photo mode, and I'll get this like buff and this HP and all that. And then you go into your little zones, and you got your dungeons and stuff to do, which are all really cool kind of thing. They weirdly remind me of the shrines in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but they're bigger and they actually are. But they have got themes and you got stuff. There isn't just like a square box that's white, like in Breath of the Wild. But it does kind of just remind me like they've sort of copied that, but done on a smaller scale with like the 20 odd of them. Yeah, I'm really like it and stuff. Like, there's no voice acting or anything, but obviously it's an indie studio, so I kind of let them off that bit. I mean, enjoy. And every time I think, I'm on my 5th day in a row of just doing a dungeon, something will like suddenly happen in the story. It seems very well paced. So at the moment, I think I would have it in my top 10 for the year. Obviously, I've not finished it yet, so I wouldn't put it in there. But yeah, see how it goes. But very much enjoying it. I think it's like the second best thing I've played on Xbox this year for sure though.
Yeah, I think the social link stuff is maybe a little bit weak, but I do think the fact that that's how you unlock your abilities and stuff is cool. I don't think the actual like the little activities you do with the social thing, I don't think they're particularly
it's not like
but...
like I said, it's not like Persona where you actually are going to hang out with Ryuji and we're going to go to have burgers and you have your cutscene and you might do a little bit of mini game. It's much more basic in that sort of thing. But it just break up the dungeons and you figure out what you need to do. Like, I've nearly got the achievement for like, I can't remember which one it is, but it's one I think it's renowned, because obviously you need that to do one of the dungeons as well. I think I'm nearly to 200 on that, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to hang out with this character to get that up, and I need to do this as well because I want to help Hannah with her shop and all that stuff. So yeah,
I really like the way that like you have your social link and then you choose what little hub area you want to go to, and then the dungeons are in these different hub areas. And then each one has its own like magic ability, and then those magic abilities are what the dungeons and the combat are based around in that area. And it breaks it up, so it'd be like, right, I've got level 3 armor, for example. I'll do the level 3, the first 2 level 3 dungeons in the first area, but then the next dungeons in this area are like level 5, so I've got to go to the next area and use different magic abilities. It just kind of breaks it up as opposed to doing like 6 or 7 dungeons in a row with the same abilities. I like the fact that you kind of bounce backwards and forwards. You'd be using the wind's tornado ability for a bit, and then I've got to go to the snowboardy place for a bit and do a couple of dungeons there. I really like that, so yeah, I'd recommend that a lot. And then I think the only thing I've been playing other than that is Gris. I say that's how you call it. Which I've had
Spanish
installed.
for grey, I believe.
Yeah, I've had it installed since it came to Game Pass. Actually, this isn't the only thing I've started playing. Actually, I jumped to COD a second. So I did start COD, as in Modern Warfare 3. Booted it up there, but I don't know if you booted it up yet. The menus, fuck me, they are just obnoxious and crap.
Oh yes.
They are terrible, and you load it up as well, and it's just like there's just people doing like RKOs and crossroads, and it's just you're just watching like what the fuck is like. I know we are boomers playing this, and this is not meant to be appealing to us at all. But God, you're just watching it like what the fuck is this shit? And yeah, the menus are terrible. I'm literally there sort of looking through all these menus. Like, I'm like, where's the fucking campaign? And then there's pop-ups coming, endless pop-ups coming up about these fucking battle passes. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's like, how do you want to redeem the battle pass? Do you want to do it this way? I don't give a shit. I don't want the battle pass. I don't care. Fuck off. I just want to play the campaign. And you get into the campaign. I started my veteran run. Did the first mission, which is actually really good. It's a prison mission. It's pretty hard, I will say, the first mission. I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be quite a challenge, because the last few Call of Duty campaigns I played on Veteran have been much easier than the old one. So I did that. And then you go into the second mission, which is the first of like the open missions, which I think is new to this Call of Duty. And they're trying to make it more like, all right, you're going into an area and there's these objectives you got to do, and it feels very Warzone-y because you've got the armor plates and you can find abilities and extra guns and stuff like that. But God, it's not good, those missions. I really do not like those missions. So I got about halfway through the first one of these and I was like, I'm good for now. So I gave up there for a bit and then went and played Grizz. So yeah, back to Grizz. Grizz is great. I played it because it was I've seen some previews for Neva, which is this team's next game, and I was like, I should really go back and play Grizz. And I wanted something chill after the stress and the carnage of the veteran on Call of Duty. I did end up getting the completion of Grizz. I think it took me looking now 6.5 hours, and it is really good. I was really impressed with it. It's a 2D puzzle platformer, but it's got a really cool, clean art style. The music's really good, and it's kind of like the perfect length. And like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm very much looking forward to their next game now. With that one, and then I did actually jump back to Call of Duty after this because I was like, right, I'm gonna give Call of Duty another go. If it's still like just annoying me and not clicking, then I'm gonna give up on it. But I have made some progress. I finished that second mission, and then the next one was another one of these open zone missions again. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! But I did finish that one as well. They just really don't work. They're just so annoying. Like I guess it wants you to be stealthy and shit, but that's not fun, is it? And once you've shot someone and then they see you, then like the entire map just swarms towards you and they're throwing grenades. You're just like, oh, this kind of sucks. And then even when you like kill a load of guys, it just spawns more in. So you're like, oh, what's the point of even bothering to kill them? I just want to try and just sprint through it. So I did the first 3 missions. The third one isn't an open zone mission. It's actually a sniper mission. It's actually really good sniper mission. I really enjoyed that. So it's a strange campaign so far. I think I'm on the 5th mission now, because it's very much like when you're doing the open zone bits, I'm like, this is the worst Call of Duty campaign I've ever played. This sucks. But then when you get through that and you're playing the classic, like what you'd expect from a Call of Duty campaign, you're like, oh, this is actually really good. I'm really enjoying this. So yeah, it's an odd one. I'm gonna carry on with it for now. I think. I don't think it's too long anyway. But yeah, it's very up and down, definitely. At the start of every mission, I'm like, please don't be open zone. Please don't be open zone. So hopefully, then we're not. I don't know how many missions there are, but hopefully,
I don't think it's very long.
No, I think from what I remember from reviews, it was only like 3 or 4 hours long on there. That was
I suspect that's like playing it on like recruit or regular and just sprinting through it. Whereas, yeah, I'm obviously dying a fair bit. It is quite nice actually. It is a bit harder because the last few COD campaigns that I played have been quite easy. So it's quite nice that it's a bit more of a challenge. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the mission structure at the moment. I hope they move away from that, definitely. And that's it from me, I think.
Pengi.
Yes. So nothing on Nintendo, nothing on like Quest, nothing on Retro I've played and stuff like that. On Xbox, we've already talked about Dungeons of Hinterberg thing. Great game. The other thing I played on Xbox was Flock, which was another Game Pass game where they added those 4 day 1 games in that 1 week. It's kind of reminds me of Flower meets a bit of Bug Snacks, I think. So in Flower, obviously you wear a flower petal, you go around the levels and you pick up other flower petals, and you like the world becomes like all colourful and stuff, like you're making it come alive. In this, you're sort of doing that, but you're on this weird looking bird thing, going to find weird looking animals. That's where the Bug Snacks element comes in, and even the NPC characters you talked to a little bit. They got that sort of like feel to them and like the look, and so you basically go around the world on your weird bird, finding a creature, and then you're getting it part of your flock, and then you're moving on and like opening up different parts of the world where you find a certain creature, and basically you're bringing life back to the world a bit again, a bit like Flower. It's a fine sort of Game Pass title and stuff. It is on like everything, I believe. I think, I don't know, maybe if it's like a tenner or something on Switch or PlayStation, maybe we're worth about that. But being on the Game Pass, that it was a fine sort of afternoon, because it's like 3 hours long, and I feel I played it after like a shooty game or something, a bit like Craig with his playing Gris after COD and stuff like that. It's the sort of thing works well on that. And then on PlayStation quite a bit. So I played the star named EOS, which I got a code for, put content on the channel and my channel, where I've got the Let's Play. Literally as soon as you could do the Let's Play of it, and obviously my little mini review thing. It is like a visual novel, point and click adventure where you're moving around, sort of like figuring out puzzles. Like, if I put this sandwich here, then the bird will eat it. Then that'll leave like something, and then you can do so and so. And thing, the story just amp up near the end of it. Thing where it adds a bit of more content to what you're doing. I enjoyed it. Got the platinum. I was the first person on True Trophies to get the platinum for this, so that is something. I don't think I was the first person in the world to get the platinum, but I was definitely the first person on True Trophies.
Wow! Can anyone prove that you weren't Pengors?
I don't know.
Well, unless someone can prove that you weren't the first person.
Obviously, I can look at what's the other one? Is it PSN profiles and stuff, and see if I don't know if that would show me.
I think we just say that you were the first Penguins in the world. I think that's what we say right now.
Yeah.
And until someone proves us otherwise.
Yeah, but then surely someone would message me like, yeah, you were the first person to get the platinum or something. I don't know. And there's still not many people. I think last time I looked, there's like 5 people that's got the platinum of it and thing. I know I'll talk about it now, even though it's not my little list, because I know Dave would bring it up. I did get another platinum in Puzzle Carnival, which is a free game where you just match puzzle pieces, and it's a whole of 10 minutes long, and you get a platinum trophy. So I got that.
God.
So I thought, yeah, I didn't have it on my. I wasn't really going to count it as something I played, but I thought you had mentioned it. Next one I played, and this is a pickup as well. It's a digital pickup. Craig, you'd like to remind me about digital games. It's in the sale, and we kind of talked about this earlier. I picked up the final shape for Destiny 2.
Oh, God.
Why? How much did that cost you?
I think it was £31 in the sale on PSN.
Jesus.
And the best of it is I've done the first mission, which was quite long, the final shape. It was like 2 hours long. I was I'm apparently talking to a chap in work. There aren't that many missions, but they're all pretty lengthy. But I have managed to play 7 hours of Destiny 2 since I bought the final shape, because I obviously did the first mission. I played a load of Crucible. Crucible is still really fun. And got like my placement in like the rank and do the weekly challenge and stuff like that. I also did a dungeon, which was a weekly challenge called Grasp of Avians or something. It's the 30th anniversary dungeon, where you can get that Galahon thing, and it's got the loot cave thing in it, because obviously it's harping back of that. And I've done a few other missions and bits and pieces. I was trying to find a team, because you now actually find teams in game after like 10 years, to do the Nightfall Strike on Master, and then possibly Grandmaster, but I need to get my rank up higher, because I am only missing 3 trophies from this, getting the Platinum, and which are 2 of them are Nightfall Strikes. So if I continue playing the story and all that, I hope to get my light level up higher, and then I can actually do the Nightfall Strikes, because I'm just about level to do it on Master, but a lot of people wanting people on like 2020. I think it's 2020 light level, and like there's me on my like 1980. So it's like, oh no, I got no one to join because I'm not high enough level. They don't want because you can put like stuff on it. But yeah, still like enjoying Destiny, going back and playing Destiny 2. Yeah.
Have they actually like added any? Is it still the same three classes? Have they added anything like that?
You got different sub things, and like so on the final shape you got prismatic, and then you can mix and match them. But in the story, I can only use the fire one and like the solar one. So I've got my ultimate, the gun at the moment, sort of thing. But obviously in the previous one they had the strand, and then eventually after you've done all the story, I guess you can mix and match all of them. So I can have a strand like the punch or whatever melee attack, and I can have the solar gun as my ultimate, and I can have the void as my grenade if I want, and the things you can mix and match them, and like I guess people will figure out like meta builds and stuff for it. But yeah, so I do want to go back and play more of the story, but knowing all the missions like 2 hours long, it's like thing. It's like a mission at a time or something, and then I got distracted by Crucible and all that stuff. Good stuff. So yeah. But talking of shooters, I've also been playing Marvel Rivals, the beta on PS5, the closed beta. This is just Overwatch. It's 6v6. Payload, move to payload. Basically, there is a team deathmatch mode. Yeah, that was not good. But the normal sort of mode is payload. I've got a video up of the first day I played it, a stream. Jeff the Shark. I played a lot of Jeff the Shark. He's basically Mercy because he is like primarily fire is a healing attack basically, and he heals everyone. Thing. So he's a good boy. But I also played a lot of Doctor Strange, and when people have already took Doctor Strange. It's what you would call the tank class, I guess, on it. There's the three classes. You got the support, Vanguard. I can't remember what the other one's called. He's on that. I think. Yeah, and he's got the shield. He's basically got a shield. So in like the payload, like basically standing in front of the payload with the shield up, and then obviously all the enemies are fire, and you got the warp thing. So it's like right, the payload's here. Like let's put the portal. Move like at the start of the match, move the portal there, and then like all my teammates can come through it, and then bam, right on the payload, trying to defend it and stuff. When you die, that does disappear and stuff like that, sort of thing. But yeah, really fun. Kind of makes me, because I remember you talking about it, like going back to Overwatch. I was like, ooh, did we play some Overwatch? But knowing this is coming, it's going to be free to play. It's just wait for that. So. Yeah, weirdly playing a lot of shooters because last week we talked about, was it last week? The week before, like I played some Valorant, didn't like that. Played obviously a lot of Concord, Destiny 2, Marvel Rivals, thing. And then the one other game I played, also on PS5, was Thank Goodness You're Here, which is published by Panic. The developers are called Coal Supper. And even though it's a different dev from the Untitled Goose Game devs, obviously Panic is the publisher as well, and they've definitely gone for that sort of vibe. You're in like a little British village and stuff like that, and you're just doing silly things. It is very Untitled Goose Game thing, and it's like, oh, I want a jar of soup, and you got to go to the supermarket, price shaggers to go get the soup, and then you got to go do like some silly things in there and like thing. Yeah, it was a fun sort of fun time mixing up like playing the. I'm not going to say Destiny 2 is serious, but like playing this sort of fun game, and I'm only missing like 8 trophies as well. I kind of think I know how to get them all, but I'm going to see if someone does like a Maca or someone does a guide, and then I will most probably maybe go for the platinum for this as well, which would be platinum 84, and that's everything I've played.
The Thank Goodness You're Here looks pretty reasonably priced as well, because it's only like £12 or something.
It's £12 on PlayStation. It's like 13 on Switch. I presume PC is 12 as well. I don't know why it's like a quid more on Switch, but yeah.
Yeah, because for some reason I thought this was only on Switch.
Mm-hmm. They very heavily pushed it for Switch game. It's in the Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
Panic
So
like pushed it as very similar to the Untitled like Goose Game, which was obviously first on Switch as well.
yeah, so I'm kind of tempted to pick this up as well because I think this would be very good fun on the portal.
Yeah. And then for ball, I have two things that aren't digital. I have Dot Hack Infection Part 1 on PS2, and I have sealed PS3 Blu-ray remote.
There we go.
Yeah.
Is that everything, Chris?
That is everything.
So first of all, I can confirm that you are number 6 on the Star Cordios Platinum Chase.
You had to ruin it, didn't you, Dave? You had to take it away from him.
What's that PSN profile?
PSN profiles because you finished it at 10 p.m. and people had finished it at 2 in the morning on that day.
Fuck's sake, Pengi, you had one job.
Pengi. On time, you missed out. But
top
10 still good.
Was I the first one in like Europe or the UK?
I've clicked off it now, but hey,
okay.
If there was a medal for 6th, you'd get it, buddy.
Is that like pewter or something?
Yeah, would. So for me, what I've been playing on PlayStation, absolutely nothing. On Nintendo Switch, I have finished Luigi's Mansion 2. Really enjoyed it. It's your bog standard, well-made, fun Nintendo game. If you like Luigi's Mansion, you'll like Luigi's Mansion 2. I think if we're going to give it a rating, it's 7.58. It's good. It's not bad in any way. You expect it to be good, and it was good. Apparently that can be a crime if you don't like Nintendo, but no, it was a good game. On Xbox, however, so for purchasing, physically I have bought 007 Bloodstone and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine on an actual Xbox 360. Played some of Bloodstone, I'm halfway through it. It's the Bizarre Creations Bond game. The team that did Project Gotham Racing, Blur, and Geometry Wars. So the driving section's really, really good, and the shooting sections are absolutely fine. It plays kind of like Uncharted. It's got Daniel Craig and Judi Dench in it, and it's got singer-songwriter Joss Stone as the Bond girl, if you remember Joss Stone. And yeah, it's a good game. Really enjoyed it. Wish I'd played it at the time. I think I would definitely enjoyed it more at the time, but I'm really enjoying just that classic, basic, like do a level, shoot a dude, fight a dude gameplay, and it's really enjoyable. Like I said, the driving segments are amazing because it's basically Project Gotham Racing, with it in like Aston Martins flying through like the streets of different European cities. But yeah, really fun game, and I played that on an actual Xbox 360, so that was fun. I also picked up in the Xbox 360 digital sale Need for Speed Most Wanted and Burnout Crash. So the two physical games I think were £6, and the two digital games were £2.50 because they knocked everything to like nothing before it went. I haven't played them yet, but yeah, enjoying them. What else have I got? I've got a list here, boys. I actually played quite a lot. So on the Series S, so obviously me and Craig have played Diablo 4. We don't need to talk about it, but Diablo 4 is fun, right? I have finished Forza Horizon 1 and Forza Horizon 2 on back and pat. Both really fun games. Really highly recommend them. One is much more basic, but is still like the physics are still really good. But it's a really, really enjoyable game. So I do highly recommend it.
I have installed one, actually, because I had it through Games for Gold, I think. So.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, I think I got to like 77% completion. Because obviously it's a lot of online stuff you can't do. But yeah, really, really fun game. Obviously, you can't also buy the DLC. But yeah, really fun game. I think you'll really enjoy it, to be honest. 2 is also great. And when you get to it, I recommend that as well. I have played Retaliate, which I got a code for, and there's a review on my channel. It's just a little shmup that I got sent a code for. It's basically Space Invaders, but you don't have any bullets. You have to absorb bullets from the enemies using the shield. So it has quite an interesting element of like strategy, to be honest. But it's a fun game. I think it's £7 or £8 to buy on Xbox and other platforms. But yeah, it's not a super easy completion. I think I'm on like 40% of it, but like so there's quite a lot of like play the game a lot achievements. But yeah, it's a fun game. I enjoyed it. My review is on my channel. I also played Firewatch, which is a game that you two highly recommend and is reviewed highly, and I finished that, got the completion. Don't see the hype, boys. Don't see the hype at all. Story was really predictable and boring. There was no twist at all. It's just like, oh yeah,
I think the twist is there is no twist.
yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
that's not clever. That's not like, oh my god, that's so amazing they've written it. It's like, okay, cool. So it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, and then the game ends. Okay, no resolution, no ending. Great. Gameplay's not very good. Some of the control stuff's really annoying. I don't know why there's an extra animation when you go up and down stuff. I'm like, okay, but I got a completion, so I don't have to play it again. So that's cool. That's if you were gonna ask me for give a score, I wouldn't, because you wouldn't like the score I gave it. And then the only other thing I have played is my one digital purchase on the Xbox Series S, and that is Hogwarts Legacy, which I played physically last year. I think my save said April 23. It was on the sale. I think it was £20. So I was like, okay, it's time to go back to this. I know Craig really liked it. I liked what I played of it. When I got it, and I just haven't got around to it. And I've played about an hour more. It's a really fun game. I'm looking forward to getting into that like really deep now. And that's probably going to be the game that I play in the foreseeable. It's just a really well made game. It runs really well now on the Series S. Well, I think it had quite a lot of performance issues last year, but no, it's definitely been ironed out now on Series S. So good. Seems like they've added quite a bit of content as well. So I look forward to playing that some more and talking about that more on the channel. But yeah, that is it, I think. Yeah, I got a lot of Xbox stuff.
Did you talk about Space Marine?
I haven't played Space Marine yet. I bought it.
Yeah, and on the list I got in front of me, is you played Clone Wars on PS5.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was because we've missed a week, haven't we? I've played some more Clone Wars. I'm on. I think I've got 4 missions left on PS5, PS2 classics. I don't know if I played that this week. It must be the week before I played it if I put it on that list. But still a fun, dumb game. It's the PS Classics range is now in the point. It's now in a Game Pass level of time kill. So like the stuff they put on is like a fun time kill. Like I really enjoyed Resistance Retribution. Obviously you got like Daxter and stuff like that. It's now at that point where you can like kill a bit of time and like be enjoyable. I think Jeanne d'Arc is probably the best thing that's on there. That's actually a game that no one's properly played. Especially for you two, because you have a Portal. If I had a Portal, I think I would probably play it more. But yeah, it's kind of sat there. I'm gonna get to. I'll probably finish Clone Wars the next time I turn the PlayStation on. I think there's not much left, and I will eventually start Final Fantasy. But I'm more enjoying finishing up stuff I've already kind of started, as opposed to starting a brand new game right now. So I think Hogwarts will be the main thing, and then we'll see where we go from there. Because there's always more games, Craig.
There's always more games.
There's always more games, but yeah. And that's the week. 2 hours and 2 minutes. If you got this far, comment PlayStation 5 is ugly. And that's it. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Bye.